Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor with IRS. Welcome to my YouTube station. It's the home of the 5-minute or less video. Today I'm going to be talking about the offer and compromise. Anyway, I worked at IRS for a decade. I have been in private practice for 4 decades. I have been doing this 50 years. I am an expert in the offer and compromise in any IRS matter. Peter Salinger of my office has worked about or reviewed 2,500 offers and compromise plus. Between the two of us, we are probably two of the most knowledgeable experts in the United States about offers and compromise. The reason I'm always dressed like this is you want what's in my head, not what I wear. My office is across the street. I can wear a suit over there. I'm not going to wear suits for you. Anyway, the bottom line is here, I'm trying to teach you about the offer and compromise, what to do and what not to do. The offer and compromise is an art. It's a very specific art. And yes, I can pretty much tell you exactly what you're going to settle for on your case. Once I have your financial statement, I review it, I'll tell you an exact number. IRS, most of the time, you know, there's cases that doesn't happen, but it's very rare. We'll tell you exactly what IRS is going to settle for. Today, what I want to talk to you about is a lot of people want to go ahead and do this themselves. So I try to put this public information out there so kind of everybody knows. So as an agent, I'm looking at 2 things on your offer, your assets and your income and expense ratio. Those are the really 2 things IRS is focusing on. So IRS, the very first thing on an offer, they want to know what your assets are and what that would be if you were to liquidate them. So IRS starts at that. By the way, you can't file an offer if you have $100,000 worth of equity in assets. IRS isn't going to settle for any less than that. You have to know that, okay, right away. IRS at least wants that 100,000. Just giving an example. Here's where everyone else gets stuck. IRS has what's called the National Expense Standard. It kills people for payments and everything. What that means is that IRS on your financial statement looks at your income and expenses. You're going to actually list your expenses. The IRS is going to take a pen and say, we're going to put our expenses in. You're going to say, well, how are they going to put their expenses in? IRS has created a chart through the Department of Labor, and it's true for every county in the United States and every region. So if you pull up your 433A, I'd rather you use a 433A financial statement, not the OICA for teaching purposes. I have you use the A. It's the one the revenue officers use. You're going to realize that IRS will limit the amount of expenses you can take. Thus, it drives the offer higher and higher and higher. So let's look at the national standards. So I want you to look at them. So what you're going to do is you're going to Google the IRS national standards. There's 4 standards you're going to look up. The IRS national standard for food and clothing. The IRS national standards for housing and utilities. That will populate a state, and then it'll populate your county. Then you look IRS national standards for car ownership, IRS national standards for car operation. Those figures IRS is not going to deviate from. So let's say you have $4,000 in living expenses in those categories. IRS may only allow you $3,000. Now you got $1,000 more available, and that will kill your offer and compromise. So it is critical you understand the National Standards Program. So as a result of this, if you're going to hire somebody to go ahead and do your offer and they don't ask for that financial statement, they can't make a determination to settle your debt. The person you need to speak to is either an attorney, enrolled agent, or CPAY. Those are the only people licensed to speak to IRS on your behalf, nobody else. Most of the people you talk to are salespeople. They're just trying to get in your pocket. Anyway, if you want me to look at your offer, you're welcome to. We really do fine work. Anyway, give me a subscription. I try to give you the information you want. You want me to do a YouTube on something, hit me in the comment section. give me a call, whatever, but thank you for the subscription. I hope I gave you good information today about the offer and compromise in the IRS National Standards Program.